I know this creepy cabin in the woods story. This boy's dad had passed away, and his dad owned a cabin. It was like their vacation cabin. Their mom decided to sell the cabin. She told the son, like, if you want to spend the weekend there for like a little bit, just to like remember everything about your dad and just spend it there, and then we'll sell it afterwards. So the kid, he's like 18. He goes to the cabin with his dog named Midnight. And the first day he spends it like snowboarding. Then he goes home, he plays video games, he goes to bed. The next morning he wakes up, he opens his front door to let his dog go pee. There's footsteps all over the porch. And mind you, like, his neighbors are not close by, bro. And they're like elderly people. So he follows the footsteps and they lead into the backyard and they kind of just disappear up in the mountain. That's when he's a little creeped out, you know? But it's like, whatever. Maybe it's just my neighbors want to stop by or something. So then that day he decides, you know what? I'm not going to go snowboarding. I'm just going to stay and play video games and then just watch movies or something. So he does that, turns off the TV. He's going upstairs with his dog Midnight. Then he lays down, he closes his eyes, and his dog would sleep like right by him, like on his pillow side. And he has his eyes closed, and then all of a sudden his dog just sits up and his ears go up. And his dog is looking at the downstairs. Mind you, he's in a cabin in the woods by himself, right? Then his dog runs downstairs, and he could just hear his dog pacing back and forth. That's when he's like, what the fuck? Like, he's really creeped out because he's thinking about the footsteps in the morning in the front yard. And then he's like, oh, maybe my dog has to pee. So then he goes out, he opens the front door, but his dog doesn't run out to pee, bro. His dog just sits there and his ears are up and is just looking at that tree that I'm telling you about that's in the clearing. Just looking at that tree. That's when he feels like his dog is about to run. So he grabs his dog, he puts him back inside. At this point, he's already freaked the fuck out because he could almost feel like something's there. He goes back upstairs, closes the door. He tries to go to bed again. But then he hears a knock at the front door, bro. Like that. Just silent knock. But he could hear it. Mind you, he's by himself. And then he hears footsteps on the roof. And then he hears knocking on the left side of the cabin and then the right side of the cabin. That's when he's like really freaked out. And you know how I told you there was a patio in the bedroom, right? Then he hears knocking on the patio, bro. And that's where he's like, no, fuck this. Him and his dog at this point are fucking scared in like a little corner. So they're just like cowered up. Eventually, like an hour passes by and he's like, fuck, I gotta do something about this. So he opens the door to the patio, takes his flashlight, and he fucking points it up at the roof. That's when he's looking at the roof, there's nothing. And then he sees that his dog is like facing the direction of that tree that I'm telling you about, in the clearing. But he points the flashlight at the tree and there's like an 8-foot man with his mouth like wide open, bro. Like looking like he's about to jump at him. Grabs his fucking dog, takes him back inside. And he said that for the rest of the night, bro, he heard knocking on the left side of the cabin, the right side of the cabin, the door. He heard footsteps upstairs. Eventually, daytime came. He packed his stuff into his truck and he left, and he never heard about that cabin again.